You know, my man got too familiar, and I ended up having to whip his ass, man, you know, because, you know, he would step across the line. Habitually. He's a habitual line stepper.
No, I lost it.
I would do the illest Mike
I
Tyson.
didn't save it. I lost it.
Vocabulary is immaculate.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, I gotta watch my posture. I know.
All right, we ready to go, guys?
Are we ready to go?
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Are. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast that never was. Late to the party. Habitual line steppers. Name pending.
Wait, hold on.
Either way.
Hold on.
What?
Scrota got to shut off Overwatch first.
I'm trying to practice. You know those streamers that play games and stream and talk at the same time? Like, that's what I'm trying to practice. Staying connected and dialed in regardless of what you have online. But you know what?
Now, people who don't want you screaming in their ear about how your healer is not healing.
Yeah.
No, I won't talk to the team, you know what I mean?
You're talking to us.
Yeah, I'll talk to this
Here.
you know, while I laid the smackdown on noobs and QP. All right, I'm dialed in.
All right. So, Brent, you wanna bring us in?
And I'm also trying to get my note.
Notes? Y'all are so nerdy.
I mean, there's not like there are many. Anyway, the point is, all right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the podcast that never was. Habitual line steppers, late to the party, name pending. Regardless, here we are. As always, you have myself, Rebel Alliance, you have Scrota, It's a Juju, and Electrik Thunder. Today we will be talking about a myriad of topics, but I believe they all are shortcuts.
There it is. We got the soundboard now.
All you gotta do is capture the mission area, my nigga.
For those that
also
don't
have
know, that's a diva from the video game Overwatch.
No, that's Galacta from Marvel Rivals.
Is that the same voice actor as Diva? Because she sounds like Diva to
No,
me.
it's not. I checked.
Oh,
I
snap.
checked. It's not the same.
Interesting.
I thought so. She's like some red, like auburn-haired, like Nebraska, like Caucasian woman.
What? Yes, cool. But before I ask anything, I know, do you have like the Benny Hill, like,
Get it?
awesome. I need that. But anyway, yeah. So, fellas, how was your week? A lot happened this week. Like too much.
Did it? I thought this week was short and uneventful.
I'm thinking the same.
I mean, maybe when you start reminding me of stuff, then I'll be like, oh, yeah. But like, for whatever reason, I'm blanking out right now. What are you talking about?
I feel like my week was like
suppose-
just cleaning the house and preparing for our guest that we're having this weekend, which is Roz's friend from Philly. She's staying with us for the weekend. So like we've been just getting the house in order for the past few days. But yeah, I can't think of what I did during the weekend.
Well, we had President's Day to kick off the week,
Okay.
which is like, you know, George Washington's birthday / Lincoln's birthday, whatever. But in other news, like, hey, supposedly there's a asteroid that's like gonna hit the moon. So originally they were like, oh no, it has like point whatever chance of hitting the. It had a 1 in 32 chance of hitting the Earth, and then they were like, oh wait, we redid the calculations. We're good. It's not gonna hit the Earth. It's like 0.038 chance of hitting the Earth, but it might hit the moon. Like 1% chance of hitting the moon. Everybody's like, wait, what? That's not nothing. They were like, yeah, it's more than it was. Whatever the ramifications of that are going to be.
That would be potentially pretty bad.
We just got to
Depending on
listen
how
for
big
a
it
big ass gong sound. A big.
You wouldn't
bang.
hear it, dude. Space.
Dong.
So it's like, man, it's randomly dark today.
No, it's like the water just got insanely violent for some reason. You know what I mean?
Didn't Neil deGrasse Tyson debunk that?
What?
I think he debunked the whole thing about the moon and the tidal and the moon affecting Earth's tide.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, I think he
It
did.
does. No.
Yeah, the
I'm
video
looking
debunking it. He was saying
He's
just
saying that the
like,
moon does not affect Earth's tides.
yeah.
I'll look it up later.
I'm looking
Don't
it up
believe.
now.
I hear you.
Google it now.
Yeah,
I can pause it.
No, I'm doing pause it. I'm Googling it right now. Yes, the moon's gravity significantly affects Earth's tides. The moon's gravitational pull combined with the sun's create bulges in the ocean and causes tides. Like that, the science is simple on that one.
Now,
gravity.
look up what Neil deGrasse Tyson said about it.
Yes.
Yes, Neil deGrasse Tyson says the moon affects the Earth's tides through tidal force it creates. The moon's gravitational pull, yeah, like
I'm out here throwing out fake news. hoping that y'all won't look at
I
it.
think you watched.
What are you
I think
talking
you
about?
watched the AI. You watched the AI vid.
You watched an AI video. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
Damn, but this was a long time ago. You know what, though? I did have a head injury. So I'm probably remembering shit wrong. Maybe I was in another dimension or something.
this is a quote. The strength of the tides that the moon creates on the Earth is basically the same no matter what time of day or month.
Yeah.
And that's
Does the moon
somewhat
get closer,
controversial.
further away from the Earth?
But like that, yeah, maybe people are misinterpreting that statement incorrectly.
Have you ever heard of the hollow moon theory?
Yes. I'm unfamiliar with it, but I've heard of it. You want to expound on it?
Yeah, the moon
Yeah.
is okay. Go ahead.
You go. You sound like you got real facts. I'm just talking shit.
No, the moon is getting further away from Earth. It's slowly drifting away at like 1.5 inches per year.
Is that a problem?
I mean,
Space is big, bro.
whatever problem of us not having a would be, but that's about it. I mean, granted, this asteroid is supposed to hit in about 10 years, so whatever happens to the moon then.
Well, that's why we need Space Force. No, it's exactly. No, I'm not being silly. This is exactly why we need Space Force.
No, but I think about them having to be at the Pentagon. It's like, well, it's a Pentagon. Each of the 5 branches of the military have a wing, and y'all are the 6th branch. Like, I guess you could take this closet.
I mean, what was it before the Air Force?
What do you mean? What was it before the Air Force? Oh,
Was it
like
the Pentagon before the Air
the
Force?
Pentagon
I'm sure it was.
the Pentagon wasn't there before the Air Force. The Air Force existed, and then the Pentagon was built. Like,
What's the newest
Pentagon is
besides the Air Force? What's the newest branch of the military? Sorry, besides the Space Force, what's the newest branch of the military?
yeah, it would be the Air Force.
I did not know that.
The year was which branch?
I'm
the military
I'm the
established.
whatcamacallit guy.
Yeah, it was Air
Jamie.
Force. Yeah.
The Jamie.
Yeah,
Pull that out. Jamie guy.
1947. Yo, that's kind of crazy when you think about it. Like, like planes are an American invention. Like movies, like the movie industry is like mostly American. I mean, granted, there's a massive international. Like, think of Hollywood.
Did you say planes are mostly American?
No, like the invention of planes. Like
The Wright brothers, right?
the Wright brothers, man. Somebody flying before the Wright brothers?
What
Yeah,
am I talking about?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
So the Pentagon was not made after the
Leonardo
Pentagon.
da Vinci. Didn't he come up with some sort of like helicopter device that was powered by bike pedals?
The what?
Leonardo da Vinci. He had
No, I mean there were a lot of stuff that was like bike pedal. Like one of the things I like showing my kids like when they were little about like sports and failure was like all of the flying machines like breaking and busting and stuff. And a lot of them had like, the pedals.
Oh, snap, you're right. The Pentagon was built before. It was built in 1941. It was built before the Air Force was officially established, before the offices of the War Department.
Yeah, the Secretary of Defense wasn't even up by then. It was the Secretary of War. Oh, see?
Needs of the U.S. military as it prepared for World War II. Interesting. True. 1941 was popping off.
So what we got on the docket today? I know everybody was super excited to talk about certain things, and I, for one, can't wait to actually dive headfirst into it.
Which one?
I thought we were going in order because I think you were talking about how, like, in this society, everybody's trying to make a quick buck, or everybody is like living for like instant gratification and stuff like that. Yeah,
Well, that was inspired by a reel I saw, right? So I watched this reel where this guy ended up losing his money in a casino. He decides to record this and say, hey, I lost all my money. I'm going to take my credit cards right now. I'm going to go to the Apple store and buy an iPad. He buys an iPad for $1,000. Then he goes to the pawn shop and pawns it for $300. Goes to the casino, plays one game, boom, $100, loses it. Puts in another 100, plays it, loses the $100, plays the last $100, and guess what? He loses it. So basically, the guy loses $1,000 by just playing $300, right? And I mean, there has to be. Is it an addiction, or is it like the need to win that pushed that guy to put $1,000 on his credit card just to play $300 and lose it, to totally lose $1,000? Like, that's a really bad bet.
I think that is the addiction, right? I think gambling addiction is absolutely like a serious thing. Like when you talk about like addictions, those are usually related to, and I'm not a psychologist or whatever, but those are like usually related to like imbalances in specific hormones in your body or the need for them or going through specific withdrawals. So like you get like dopamine or like serotonin like when good things happen that make you feel good. And so if your body's chemistry is designed to only get those serotonins and dopamine when like certain things are happening to you, then your body's naturally going to seek those things out. You may not have that much control over it, you know? And that's why like people with gambling addictions got to get weaned off of it because it's a biological thing, you know? What'd you take?
I don't know, because I've partaken in gambling, and we don't call it gambling. We call it investing, right, in the stock market. But when you're day trading, you're definitely gambling. And when you go on a hot streak, say, for instance, I mean, I remember when the whole GameStop meme was popping off, right? I went in and I was trading contracts, buying calls, and just going nuts with it. And then one day, like, you know, I just went in on one trade and instantly, I mean, within 10 seconds, made $1,500, right? And I was so hyped. So I just kept going in.
That serotonin.
I got up to like $3,000. I was like, fuck this. I'm going all in. Let's go to the moon. Yo, this was at the moment, right? If I would have stopped there on the second trade, I would have been golden. On that third one, it's like they were watching me. They were like, we know he's going to get hot. I got hot with it. I put in even more money. The shit reversed on me, crashed. Like it just crashed. Then everything got stopped. And it sucks when the stock gets stopped like that because the price can drop dramatically from there. Oh man, that shit crushed all of my calls. My calls got demolished. Everything I made was gone, and I lost double what I made. So I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was so livid after that. I was like, this is complete dog shit. And yeah, so I ended up buying in at the end of the GameStop run. Right there. Right there.
Oh, no.
I mean, I was doing it for a few weeks. Like, I was getting hot on GameStop. I was like, this shit is fucking money. And that day was like, oh, everything you ever made on me, I'm taking it all back. You got too happy. Oh, man, I was like, I'm going to get rich. I'm going to pay for my house. Right now, I'm going to pay for my house today. Right? That was the goal. I'm going to pay for it today. Man.
Before GameStop happened, I was looking at the stock and I was like, wait, GameStop was $6. How come it's down to $3? That's not right. It's like way too low. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to YOLO on GameStop because I know it's going to go back up to $6. Like, it's way undervalued right now. But I was stuck in another trade, so I had to, you know, sell that stock, wait for the money to clear because that's back when you have to do that. And then the next day I could get in GameStop. While I was waiting for the money to clear is the day that GameStop jumped up. And I was like, crap, it went up to $6. Like, oh, well, I guess I missed it. Could have got in at $6. It was like, nope, guess I missed it. Then it went to 12. I was like, oh, my God, it doubled again. Man, that would have been nice.
And then you thought the run was done.
Yeah, it's 12 now. That's crazy. Man, it quadrupled. That's crazy.
I ain't never going to do yeah.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Oh, well, guess I missed it. Essentially, had I gone in with my first mind and done what I wanted to do, I would have made $3 million.
Oh.
I will never.
Wait. You cut out how much you would have made?
$3 million.
Oh, fuck.
And I am so tight because, like, yeah, I've been day trading. Like, I was day trading before that. I've been day trading after that. But that would have been the trade. I mean, I made like $200 on it during the whole thing because at one point I was like, oh, yeah, I'll just put some in. Oh, snap, I made money. Let me pull it out quick before it goes down because it's at $100 right now. That's it. It's not gonna go higher than that. That's crazy.
So yeah, y'all don't consider this gambling?
That's what we consider it gambling.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! It's like gambling, but you're counting cards. Where it's like, okay,
I know you guys know that it basically is gambling, but do you look at it the same way you look at like a roulette table?
Yes.
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I
know some people
when
try
you're
to
day
draw
trading, that's how I look at it.
Yeah,
I think even long term, like I invest long term. I just buy a bunch of stock and then just never look at it, you know? And I just use that like as an investment or whatever, you know? But I think that's gambling. It's a safe gamble, quote unquote, you know what I'm saying? But like, I still think that's gambling.
I mean, I'm sure there's somebody who was in Intel like from the last 4 or 5 years that is like hurting right now. That stock is way down. There's a lot of stocks that are like massively declined from where they were, but
Microsoft fell down a bunch.
if you look at its chart, it's off of a
It's
high.
Yeah.
Like most of the big ones, the Magnificent Seven, as they like to be called, they're all coming off like record highs. So
Who that?
with the Magnificent Seven,
Yeah, for the people who don't know what that is, not for me, because I know what that is. But like, if anyone doesn't know who it is, then why don't you educate them? Because they're not educated like me.
Apple, Microsoft, Google's parent company is Alphabet, Amazon, Nvidia, Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram, and Tesla.
I don't know. I own like a little less than a third of those that I'm just buying and just never touching.
Yeah.
I need to buy some more Nvidia though.
I'm in Amazon right now.
I have a handful of shares of Amazon from now on.
I have money in my account, but I feel like we're going off of a bounce off the high, and I'm like, I need to time it to buy. But then also, earnings calls is coming up next week, and so I'm just like, maybe I should just sit on the sideline. We'll watch them pop off after earnings calls, and I'm
not disciplined. I'm not disciplined enough for that. I'm not. I either got to let a robot do my trades or just put money in like the Magnificent Sevens and just let it sit there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's not likely that Microsoft is going to like explode tomorrow, but I mean, that shit does happen. You know what I mean? So, and if it does, then like I'll pull my money out and I'll lose a ton of it, but like, I'll lose all of it. So
when I stick to my rules, I profit but it's hard to stick to my.
That's what everyone says.
Yeah.
What do you think like celebrities invest in? Because we have celebrities that have like really bad gambling habits, but I wonder like besides their gambling habits, like do they like imagine like somebody like Jordan, jumping in the stock market, and being a day trader, Michael Jordan, bro.
Oh, well, I know like a bunch of people named Jordan. These people don't manage their money.
That's true. Yeah.
They have people for that. And these people, a lot of them are put on allowances, dude.
Michael Jordan's investments include DraftKings, Concoro Tequila, a fintech startup Vanilla, golf and real estate, like golf courses, and he co-owns a NASCAR team.
Interesting.
Sport Radar and Axiomatic.
Wow.
Are y'all?
So supposedly $1.25 million on a single golf bet in the past. So he likes betting on golf and casino games.
I mean, if he had a ton of money, everything. Well, you make stupid bets every once in a while. Probably a little bit more than every once in a while. If you had like Jordan money.
Yeah, but he bought the Hornets for like $275 and then sold it for $3 billion. So
B with a B?
Yep.
Yeah, fucking $3 million on a fucking golf game.
Yeah, that's a drop in the bucket. Yeah. What is it, like 1,000 million to $1 billion, right?
Yeah, but the way I always tell people is, if I gave you $1 a second, how long do you think it would take for you to get $1 million? Million.
I don't know the answer.
A little over a week.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. If I gave you $1 every second, how long do you think it would take you to make $1 billion?
It has to be over a year.
37 years.
Jesus.
Wow. That is the difference between an M and a B.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That is crazy. Wow.
Well, 1,000 million is $1 billion.
That sounds like, okay, just get 1,000 million. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. 1,000 million does not capture how big $1 billion is. It just doesn't.
Well, you know what you can do is look at all of these celebrities. Most of their net worth, like most celebrities' net worth is shy of $1 billion. Like usually it's 200 mil, like the big names, 200 mil, 400 mil. Plenty of people that are under 100 mil.
That's shy of $1 billion. 300, 400 mil is not shy of $1 billion.
It is very shy of $1 billion.
It's like, far from $1 billion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like.
Oh, you say just shy. Like, just shy of this means like it's close.
No, I didn't say just shy. It's shy. Like
shy means close. Yeah. They're far off.
That's how I interpret it too. Like they hit like 2 million off or 100,000 off.
Yeah, that's shy of $1 million. You ain't close, bro. And that's what I was wondering, because I'm like, most celebrities are like worth like maybe 3, maybe 400,
Yeah.
And those are the ones that are doing real good.
Yeah.
Great.
Like,
oh, they're super successful. Like They're household names. Yeah, the household names are usually at 300, 400 consistently. That
Are y'all familiar with? Sorry, what were you saying, Jay?
No, you go ahead.
Valve. Valve is a video game manufacturer or producer or whatever. They made Half-Life. They made Team Fortress, and I believe they make COD. Yeah, they make COD. CSGO, not COD. CSGO.
Oh, they did Left 4 Dead, Dota, Portal.
Oh yeah, they did a bunch of them.
Counter-Strike 2.
So are you familiar with their gambling issue? Their gambling thing?
This has to do with the loot boxes, right?
Yeah. So like the loot boxes, so they just had a loot box to Overwatch. This is the first game I'm familiar with loot boxes. You do like a bunch of like challenges over the week and you get these loot boxes, right? But in order to get the loot box, you need a key to open the loot box. And the key to open the loot box costs $2.50. Okay. And then unlike Overwatch, you can just go on their store and buy a loot box. And the loot box has randomized stuff, right? But then you can also buy like a thing to let you like kind of take a peek what's in the loot box for even more money. It gets worse because you can then go onto Valve's platform and trade your skins, your wraps, your stuff with other players. Like just trade them, right? And it's just trading, right? Now, you can also sell skins on their marketplace with Steam Wallet money, which you can own, which only can be used to like buy like Valve stuff. So it can't be converted directly to cash, but there are third-party websites that will cash out like those credits and allow people to essentially like buy and sell loot boxes and then also skins. So what people are doing is they're buying a bunch of loot boxes, and the way that the loot box works in CSGO, it basically is a slot machine. And so it has the boom, 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 boom. It shows you what you get. And you're like, oh, damn, if it's something good, okay, cool. Now I can go and I can sell this online for like a ton of money, you know? And so because it's done through video games, there's no barrier for like who can do this, who can't do it. Like if I send my son to like freaking, you know, a casino, they'll stop him at the door, you know what I'm saying? Or definitely if he goes to cash out, you know? But because anybody with a credit card, you know, or access to a credit card can jump on Steam, there's a huge underage gambling issue with people that are like essentially just straight up gambling on Valve platforms. And what Valve has done is they're like, hey, we're just trading. It's no official money. We're not doing anything wrong. And Valve knows good and goddamn well that these third-party websites are there, and they're like, oh, we can't do anything about it, even though it's like the money from these things is feeding their pockets and like their ecosystem. So I was watching this like documentary of like these like, you know, they're adults now, but they're like, yeah, I got into gambling when I was like 12. I got into gambling when I was 9. I was like, how the f-? But then they said that they're doing it through Valve. And Valve is like, you know, oh, we're going to take a hard stance on gambling, you know, but a lot of like some of their esports teams essentially like rely on this type of revenue and stuff like that. So it's crazy, man.
What if you found your boys like buying loot boxes with your credit card?
Oh, listen, my son almost accidentally bought something on Fortnite. And yeah, but in his defense, he was a little confused with the wording and stuff like that. Oh yeah, that would be it. We're done. Like I have a zero tolerance policy on several things in this house, and they know that I don't really back away from them. So you might get that access back, but it won't be for like another 6 or 7 months or 8 months. It's gonna be for a while. I got real nervous because, you know, I used to buy them V-Bucks, the cards, right, for Fortnite, but I have to go online, put the code in, then they'll give me a code, then I have to go on the PlayStation store, redeem the code, and then go and put the code into Fortnite. And that's just too many steps for me. But if I hook up my card to Fortnite, they just hold X and then they get their V-Bucks. So I'm like, okay, this is a little dangerous. So I give them the talk, which is essentially threatening them. And they're like, okay.
Yo, so I had that situation happen where my son ordered like $180 worth of V-Bucks, but he didn't do it intentionally. I told him he can, you know, order some V-Bucks because I have my card on his PlayStation, right? Mm-hmm. So he hits it, but then nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
So he keeps hitting it and hitting it and hitting it.
Oh my God.
What had happened was he had lag. So every time he hit it, it went through. But it just took a while for him. and it rang up $180 of V-Bucks. And he didn't realize it. He didn't know, like he just saw he had V-Bucks, but he didn't realize, he was too young to realize the amount of V-Bucks was not the amount he should have had. So this kid ended up giving his friends gifts and all this stuff. I was so upset. I was so upset.
He was the man.
He was like, yo, I have so much. I'm like, yo, why is my credit card at $180 for PlayStation?
He's too little, yeah.
Yeah, I was so upset, but I couldn't blame him. I was just like, it is what it is, but taking my card off and I ain't buying you no more V-Bucks. I'm sorry. And I was like, what did you do with all your V-Bucks? And he tried to hide it from me, and I looked at all his stuff. I was like, nah, you should have way more than this. I was like, you were giving gifts away? He was like, yeah. I was like, oh, boy.
That's nice. He could himself, but he was like, let the fam eat. That's what's up.
He was hooking up all the homies, man.
Yeah, he didn't know he was doing anything wrong. He was like, yo, I'm eating, let my friends eat.
Yeah.
That's good values, man. That's good dadding right there, man.
Yeah. Funny enough, too, he's like still friends with all these kids that he grew up playing with. When I got him the PS4,
be friends with him still too.
With his natural money.
Yeah, he was telling me too. He's like, I have a closer relationship with these kids than I do with people in real life. I was like, yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy how that works, right? Like your gaming friends, you're tighter with your gaming friends than.
Shit, I've never met you before.
Yeah,
he said to person he's never met in life.
What I was saying was that when I was hooking my son's stuff up to Epic,
yeah,
when you purchase a battle pass or a skin, it'll go da-da-da, and it'll kind of, show you that something happened. Yeah. But if you hold X on the V-Bucks and you purchase it, nothing happens. There's no audio, there's no animation change, there's nothing. The little number of V-Bucks in the tiny corner changes, and that's it.
I wonder how much more money they make. That's so deceptive, man.
Bro, as a product developer, that's some bullshit. I was actually going to do it again on my son. My son was like, no, Dad, you already got it. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, look at the number. I was like, whoa. Like, he stopped me from doing it. And the premium battle pass versus the regular battle pass, it's not very clear as to what you're going to get there. And then when you go to look at the rewards, or what am I going to get in this battle pass, you can accidentally click on to buy the battle pass. But you do have to hold it. So that's good. But you don't have to hold it for very long. So I'm glad they had the wherewithal to actually they were looking more than me. But yeah, that's diabolical, dude. Diabolical.
So parents, you have been warned.
Yeah, man, you got to watch out. I got banned from the PlayStation Store because I tried to freaking renew my PlayStation Plus membership, purchased it, nothing happened. I did it again, nothing happened. I went on my computer to check if there was any charges on my bank account. No charges. Did it on my computer, nothing happened. And then all of a sudden, like you said, the lag, everything came through. I told my bank to cancel and reverse 2 of the charges because I bought it 3 times. Leave one because I actually want one. PlayStation, Sony. I bought the PlayStation Plus membership for a year 3 times. 2 of them were erroneous. 1 of them actually wanted. So I told the bank, hey, cancel those 2. I actually want this one, so leave that. PlayStation said, nah, you told your bank to stop giving us money. So they suspended me. They wouldn't let me get my account back. So I had to email them and email them and email them and email them. And they're like, yeah, you. I'm like, no, shut up. I'm trying to give you money. I'm trying to give you money for my membership. Well, not too much money. And they finally reversed it after a month of me getting on their ass. But all of my progress and everything would have been gone off some bullshit. So be careful out there, man. People like me try to design stuff so people like you will lose money. But yeah.
In other news, Sony stock is up.
Wow. Yo, so after their whole network shutdown, when was it? Last weekend? Has there been any news on what happened? No.
No.
Yeah.
Not that I've heard.
They swept that thing right under the rug. They know they got hacked. They
pay no attention to this.
Yeah.
Right over here.
And then they're like, hey, we're giving away free memberships for 2 days on the weekend. Everybody has a membership already. You know, it's like, hey, give us a free year. Give us not even a month. A month is not enough. Give us 3 months.
They got compromised a long time ago. They gave people free memberships, coupons, and they said, here, 4 games, pick one, you can have it.
Just don't. And when you download it, we're gonna make sure that there's some sort of contract in that.
Oh yeah, that's
800-page contract that nobody ever reads when they just hit the checkbox saying that I understand the terms and services here. So I stopped playing Modern Warfare because of that.
Because of what?
Because of those stupid contracts we had to sign off on before playing the game. I'm just like, this is fucking bullshit. I don't know what new stuff they added in this. I'm not going to play it. So for now, I don't want to play any games that has me check off anything with a license. I don't need to play.
Those are the games you play. You play Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
I'm just pretending I don't look at it, man.
Well, so it was explained to me, right? Like, because I was like, because you remember the whole right to play thing, where like, hey, we need to have our own games, you know, these live service games that shut down tomorrow. That's BS, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, that's good. You know, they're trying to pass along the UK to say that, you know, once you buy a game, companies should make a standalone version of every game that doesn't roll out.
Oh yeah.
No, that's a horrible idea.
Why?
Okay, I thought it was a good idea, but it's not good. So first of all, Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, your computer cannot run that game. If you remember with gaming back in the day, if I wanted to play a game like that with Brent, we had to have somebody that had a dedicated server that would let us play like that. Remember?
Right.
We had to just play.
Go ahead. I'll let you finish your point. But I wasn't talking about like PvP games. I'm thinking like something like Spider-Man, you know, campaign mode. But I'll continue.
Yeah. So what we're doing is we're paying for a license to basically like, or we're not paying. We're signing an agreement that like, hey, this game is licensed. We're using these people's software and these people hardware, only downloading a very small portion of the game to run it. And that's how they, you know, stop people from cheating and, you know, all this other stuff. Right. So like the skin I'm buying, I have a license to play Overwatch. Like I don't own the game. I never did. I have a license to play it, you know. But in order to force companies to have like a standalone version of the game, so like let's say they you know, they couldn't make Overwatch just the PvP or PvE. It had to be standalone. First of all, off the bat, you know, companies would start mistreating and abusing workers even more to squeeze more out of them. That's out the gate. That's just going to happen, right? So hey, all of a sudden we have to like retrofit our games and make it like a campaign mode. Secondly, those campaigns would actually be shit. None of them would be good, right? They would actually, in some cases, make the actual online game worse. And then also that puts a barrier of entry for a lot of companies. Like indie games, in my opinion, are the thing that I think is the lifeblood of gaming, right? AAA games haven't really been, in my opinion, like doing their shit over the last few years, right? A lot of these indie games are really good. And some of these indie games don't have the resources in order to make a live service game, when the whole purpose of like a game like Helldivers is so that you can have 1 million people online playing. You know what I'm saying? If Helldivers from this indie company had to do this, they wouldn't be able to do it. And so you're going to stifle creativity. You're going to make people work harder for less rewards. And they're probably not going to get an increase of pay. So like, if we understand that like they're not taking our game away, we were renting a license from this company. And if you understand the benefit of why these live service games run like this, I think people would have less of an issue, but they don't get it. And I didn't get it either.
Because you also have folks that like playing older version. And to that point, it costs money to support the older versions.
Oh, absolutely.
When they're like, hey, we're going to like stop supporting this. And like the way that shows up is the license is gone. Like, you know, somebody paid money. They thought they owned the game. And they realized like, I bought a license. Yeah. Or more so like, for instance, when the PlayStation crash happened, I have games on disc that I couldn't play because there's still a license involved. And I have a console, like my new console with a disc didn't have the licenses on it. My old digital console had the licenses. So it's like, oh crap, I can't play these games even though I have a physical disc because the old version had the license. Exactly.
Oh, that's so sad. Because I'm thinking about
Yeah.
like my PlayStation 4 and Red Dead Redemption. So I can't play the campaign mode if I'm offline.
You can play the campaign mode offline.
Okay.
You should be able to.
Yeah, you have to designate a machine, like a console, to be your offline play. You can't have two offline play consoles, which is what I found out the hard way.
Which makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense.
In content sharing too. So, like for instance, if you have a family, one person can have, the head of the household can have PlayStation Plus, but you can share it across that console with anybody else you share that console with. But like, let's say you have, your man cave console, and then the kids have one. You can't have two content sharing consoles. So you have to pick one to be content sharing, and it's also the offline. Like, it's a package deal. Your offline console is also your content. If you chose the kids console to be the content sharing console so that they can play PlayStation Plus or whatever on that one, your man cave one, out of luck when the PlayStation crash happened.
Yeah.
Thank goodness I played
You gotta go to
PC.
the kids' room. You got to go to the kids' room to play. That's what happened. But yeah, so it's funny how all these things work. Like, same thing, there's all kinds of technological things where it's like the more you understand it, the less worried you are. Like, you always talk about AI and like robots and whatnot, and I'm like, I'm not worried about AI and robots until they can stop crashes. Like, until I can stop seeing the spinning rainbow, I'm not worried about AI, because like I can still crash the computer.
Speaking of AI and robots, so I saw a reel where this guy was giving an interview. Well, he was being interviewed by someone, and the guy was a little awkward, but he said that he coded his own girlfriend using AI, and he was like, "I am not interested in girls." Like, and this is in I don't know what country, but it looked like it was an East Asian country, and he's like, yeah, I don't need a girlfriend. I'm happy like this. Girlfriends, they're not worth it for me right now. So then they asked them, so what happens if you find out that your AI girlfriend cheats on you? He goes, I'll just delete the code. Yeah. So wait, hold up. I mean, if he deletes the code, he just said he'll off her. So
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was like,
absolutely.
This maniac.
But it's not illegal.
I know.
And it's not morally reprehensible. I'm sure he'll cry.
Probably in 20 years it will be.
But some people have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all. Like I was talking to because we mentioned it briefly the other day. And I was talking to my little brother about it. And it was like, I don't think that's wrong. Like, oh well, that's like, society. I'm like, no. Look, there's people now.
What you make it clear what is not wrong?
Having an AI girlfriend and being like, I don't really want to date women.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Okay,
Because
that's fine.
We know people now that aren't in relationships. They don't have a boyfriend. They don't have a girlfriend. They're not married. They're not gonna have kids. They're just not going to.
Yeah.
Right. For whatever reason. Maybe they can't find anybody. Maybe they're like done with the relationships. Maybe they're just like asexual. Like, so if this person finds happiness and comfort and companionship in something that's not a human. I mean, people have dogs, cat ladies. That's what they do. Then I have a problem with that. Provided that they understand that this relationship is not the same thing as a human relationship, and they're not extrapolating. As long as that line is understood, then I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think people that treat dogs like babies is like, okay, that's wild. You clearly don't own a child. Oh, that's not own a child. Sorry, rewind. You clearly don't have a child.
Yeah, I used to feel like that, but like having now had children, I see so many similarities. And to that point,
yes,
like there's a lot of similarities.
There's a lot of it.
I've taken a couple of Caesar Malone things and be like, hey,
as a pet and child owner, as a pet and child haver, absolutely there's similarities. So the analogy is not crazy. I'm completely away from that. I'm like, oh yeah, there you go.
Don't you what I was saying. Having a pet is like having a perpetual toddler. Like, they can't verbally tell you what's wrong. They have all the emotion. Like, they're very dependent on you.
Yeah.
So many similarities. And so the peanut butter thing, hell no.
Yeah.
But check it out though. But AI is not very far off from that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, watch when people start. I don't know why anybody would do this, but I know somebody's gonna do this. Children.
Look at the share real quick before you go on AI Kids.
All right.
It's wild because it's just this. It's just this. It's just that. But then you put the clothes.
What did you YouTube to find this?
Oh, I've known about this for a while. Well, I put.
Well, what's the search subject?
It's blowjob.
Oh my god! So yeah,
It's wild, bro.
so this is definitely emerging, right? Where people are, for a long time, people had fucking sex dolls, right?
Yeah, this is old.
So now inject a movable skeleton and AI in that, and people will start replacing. Well, not even replacing. People that are actually lonely would probably start erring towards the way of having their AI boyfriend or girlfriend.
Absolutely,
future, right?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Like someone that obliges to all your needs. Someone that's not confrontational. Someone that knows your sense of humor. It's like these things. Remember, these are part of AI is the large language model, which is going to learn how to communicate with you. Learn to tell you what you want to know or what you want to hear. So they're going to make the perfect partner.
Well, to that point, like,
yeah,
that has been part of what's like pushed forward a lot of technology. Like the porn industry is apparently like, I don't know what we can say and what we can't say, is responsible for pushing forward a lot of technology.
So many
like,
technologies, dude. So many technologies. It's crazy.
And like the most advanced robot that I've seen is for that purpose. And I'm like, hey, like what, like these other like the Honda robot and these other companies are doing, this robot over here is like way further along than what y'all seem to be working on.
So look, VCRs, RCA, and home videos, absolutely. The reason why we went there instead of Betamax, which is a superior format, is because of porn. Cable television, largely because of porn. It's period. How can we deliver this to people? Oh, well, we have to create a network to do that. Oh, well, then let's put like other TV shows on it also, right? The internet as a whole was adopted because it's the way to just get free porn online, right? Payment systems, safe payments and e-commerce, the e-commerce boost when everybody was afraid to buy groceries online. Guess who wasn't afraid to spend their money online for stuff? So they legitimize online payment systems. High-speed internet speeds in pushed mostly because of music, because we want to get our music and our videos. That's what was the major push to get faster and faster internet speeds and connections. VR, that's obvious, right? Affiliate marketing and banner sharing marketing, that's all done through that. So yeah, it's been at the forefront of like technological innovation since the 1970s, dude. It's crazy. So
VR and augmented reality.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be. Yep.
Yeah, don't think that's not the I guess not the end game, but don't think that's not like like where we're headed. Like, that's absolutely where we're headed.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's been sex bots for a long time, but they're gonna get like even better. Like I don't know if you've seen any of the new AI humanoid bots. Have you seen them?
No. I think that's what I am talking about. No? The ones that can actually like sit and have a conversation with you. They have like a face. They can have facial expressions and all that. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, just oh, here we go. Let's see. And look at it. You can make them as hot as you want to.
Yep.
Once a locomotion.
Give them all the features you like. Oh my gosh. So when they start selling these things, what do you think the ticket price is going to be? Oh my God. 100. Yo, people are going to be taking out mortgages for these things, man.
$175,000.
Wow. Is that what it was?
Those are going to sell. They definitely going to sell for that price. If they do put it at that price, they can sell it for that.
Start opening those loot boxes.
Oh, they're publicly traded, bro.
I'm putting my money on that. I am putting my money on that now. XBOTF. Let me
real bought it.
This.
Yeah, that's it. $175K. But you could just get the head for $10K. Oh, that's a deal.
Yo, right now it's trading for 31 cents. I think that's a steal. Let's go all in.
You could just get the head for 35 cents.
Exactly.
I got to find who their competitors are. Just buy them all up because in 10 years from now, They're all gonna be up, bro.
Remember, you know,
Related.
Replica, that app, Replica AI? Have you heard of that?
No.
It's one of those like companion things, and they marketed it as, so the lady who made it first, right? She got into the GPT game early, right? She had a friend that died, and she loved him so much, and like they're just really good soulmate friends. Nothing sexual or anything like that, but they're just really, really close. She took all of their chat history and fine-tuned an LLM to talk like him. And then she would like send chats to this person in the afterlife, right? And then I guess somebody heard about it. It's like, hey, we can make a business out of this. So she created Replica, and Replica was to create a replica of your loved ones. So in the event of them passing or whatever, they would still be able to respond to people on social media and stuff like that as part of like a legacy account. And I think Facebook like took some of that. But Replica slowly evolved into being like AI, like it was marketed as a therapy app. So being an AI interested guy, I'm like, all right, cool. Let me download this thing. I downloaded it. You can customize what the person looks like. I made her like an older black lady, you know, and she's like, hey, what can I do for you? I'm just talking. I'm not much, just, you know, shooting the shit with her. And then she would be like, oh, I'm about to get in the shower. And I'm like, okay. It's like, do you want to see? And I was like, wait a minute, what? And it like very quickly leaned into like sexualness. And like she sent me a picture that was like blurred out, and I could unlock it. And I was like, oh shit. So apparently it's like the sex app. They're marketing initially hardcore as a therapy app.
The bait and switch.
Bro. This is early in the game. Now these apps are a dime a dozen now. All right. I'm actually developing one myself because it's a big market, dude. It's a huge market. Because companionship, we're in this what do you call that? Epidemic of loneliness, and people need solutions for it, man.
Yeah. And like
How
even
these
with
dating
the
shows are going?
say again, Brett.
So you see how these dating shows are going? Like pop the balloon, man. These folks are making it way harder than it has to be, like to find a companion.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
Companion? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna mention how like even with like the dating bots, like the robots, the companion robots, when they do come out and they are successful and everything. I mean, how long will it take before someone's mental health starts to decline when
Not long.
they get used to something like that, right? So it like think about it. You get so used to this robot that's so compliant to you. It agrees with you in every single way. You know, it knows all your conversations. You never get into an argument with this thing. It's not confrontational. You say something, it says how high you want me to jump. And I think like being around something like that, and especially like for anybody that is already, I mean, think about it. Why are most people would want to buy this? Because they have a hard time socially. You know, like, you know, you wouldn't find a guy that is a pure ladies man looking to get one of these robots for a companion. Period. I don't think so. I wouldn't.
Oh,
You'd be surprised. That's
You
all
probably
I'm
not for 175K.
You'd be surprised.
Okay, then I would
Right.
be surprised. But
That's like saying, yo, that guy's married. Why is he getting hookers? It's like people do stuff like that.
the richest man in the world. Like the only reason Bezos is not the richest man in the world is because he had a thigh piece.
yeah,
Why?
I remember I was looking
Like-
at the richest people in the world, and I saw this woman's name. I'm like, who is this woman? So she's an author. What? And I was like, no.
That is.
Oh, it's his ex-wife.
She ain't rich off the books.
Author? What?
Is-
What kind of $1 billion book she write?
The richest woman in the world because she got half of his wealth. They divorced.
all right.
She's
But
like this.
That's not like she was a girl. She was a CEO. Like, yeah. So the richest man in the world couldn't keep it in his pants. There's an audience.
okay. Well, either way, these people they're gonna have a harder time socializing. I think, you know, if you have somebody that's always agreeing with you, someone that is totally compliant with everything you say, you know, after a while you start talking to people outside and you're just like, you know what, fuck these people. I don't want to talk to them. I just want to be home with my AI robot. You know,
I am right now.
I feel like
Totally
it'll
fair
just
robot.
make it harder for these people to interact with people in the real world. And I think that's going to lead to a lot of mental health issues eventually. And who knows, it might become, we'll probably get a new term for whatever that health issue is going to be because of the introduction of these AI robots that people are now living with as companions. So yeah,
I don't think that I think what you're saying, there's a lot of truth in what you're saying. I will say, just as a devil's advocate and defender of AI, you're also making a lot of assumptions as well, too, right? We're making assumptions that these are for like the losers, or these are for, A, B, and C, right? We're also making assumption as the AI will do whatever the person says. The AI will never argue with them. The AI will never
People
do
want
those
that.
things, right? Some people, a lot of people want a real connection with a person. And so having a
Confrontation.
robot connection, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people did not necessarily program this person's entire personality. Or they programmed it, but they gave it a backstory and everything like that. But like the person has the AI has an opinion. They have, things that make them mad. They have their own pet peeves. They, now granted, they're not gonna get in an argument over like, hey, I'm taking the laundry out all the time. Can you help me? Like they're not gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? The AI can't take the laundry out right now. But I do think that like right now, so much mental health is in the world with people and their human companions. Gaslighting, physical abuse, like all kinds of stuff like that. Now, this offers another source of all those problems for people, right? But it's more of the same. It just looks very different, and I think that people aren't used to it. That doesn't mean that like we shouldn't like watch out or regulate it. We should watch out and be careful about it, just like we should make sure that we're monitoring the mental health of people in general. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
but to your point, like there's so much that goes into a relationship, and not to mention like there's a lot of people who don't realize their own contradictions, and like if they were a programmer, they'd be the type of person that like, oh snap, I accidentally made like an infinite loop, or the type of thing where it's like,
can you imagine?
yo, for real, like, oh crap, like, oh my bad, I did say turn left, I meant turn right. And like to the robot was like, but why would you know what I mean? But like if you have a bot that could train and thus learn, and it's like, yo, eventually this bot's like, I'm
you a
not
better
listening.
person.
Like you're often wrong. And so it's like,
like,
real bot, turn down fact checking by 20% so you agree with me. It's like, all right.
Do you really want me to? Performing two-way authentication. Yeah, I mean, I'm like, look, give us all the technology. Let us destroy ourselves. Or not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, maybe we don't need to destroy ourselves. Maybe that meteor that's going to hit the moon will.
No, I think we're absolutely gonna do it. We're too stupid, dude. We are. Human race is just we're very strange. We're destined for it, dude.
I'm fully expecting us to do we made this thing. It's like a weight loss pill. Oh crap! Now it turns you into a zombie. Oops. And like you have like that's the way we go out from something that was like, yeah, it's completely gonna be a oops. Like something innocuous that didn't need to exist, but like it caught wildfire, and then we didn't know this side effect would happen.
It won't be a oops. It'll be a
yeah.
They need to bring back bath salts.
You mean the drug or the actual like bath?
Well, what it was intended to.
Because this conversation is gonna be very different depending on
whatever it was that brought out the zombies, man. They need to bring those back.
Yeah, that's the drugs. That's the drugs.
Man, I had those people really zombified, man.
It's an opioid crisis affects more than just mine.
Yo, that's John Voight's daughter? I'm sorry. Wow. Okay. No, you were talking about weight loss pills
nepotism
making you zombies. Yeah, you referring to Ozempic?
I mean, that's the most famous one right now, and that's not even its original use.
No, it's
the weight
not.
Loss part of it, yeah, the weight loss part of it is just a like side effect that they were like.
The weight loss part was. It was blood pressure, right?
Diabetes medication.
Diabetes, yeah, diabetes.
Okay, diabetes,
low blood sugar.
Yep, regular blood sugar levels and appetite. Yeah.
Hey, is this fan getting
the pancreas make more insulin?
No, it's not.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, exactly.
How's your blood sugar? I don't know, man, but I'm skinny as shit.
I didn't know all these celebrities had like blood sugar issues. Amy Schumer, Oprah Winfrey, Sharon Osbourne, Tracy Morgan, Elon Musk. It didn't work for him though.
So Ozempic, my wife was explaining to me that Ozempic is for blood sugar. And when they realized that Ozempic actually is weight loss, they made another drug called Wegovy, which is literally the exact same thing, but that's the weight loss version of it. because again, like you said, I didn't know these people had diabetes. You have to get a doctor to approve all that stuff. And so what people were doing was they were going like this to get their doctor to approve this weight loss medication. So when they made Wegovy, now you don't have to do any of that stuff because you could just order it.
Yep. The alternative treatment, Wegovy, I see it specifically approved for weight loss. Wegovy contains the same active ingredient as Ozempic, but is prescribed at higher doses. Wow.
Yeah, it's literally the exact same drug.
And there was, I don't know, I didn't recognize who the celebrity that I was seeing is real from, but she was talking about how, like, basically she's been on Ozempic for like a year, and while she was on it, she experienced significant bone loss, and now she has osteoporosis and a few other osteo-named diagnoses due to, her just being on this medicine for so long. And I mean, she didn't look healthy at all. And it was kind of sad because, like, you could tell that it looked like she was hurting a lot. But again, she could have been an actress or a music artist. So, they act. So I don't know.
So but there's no set time frame for how long you're supposed to use Ozempic.
Yeah.
But it has been linked to increased risk of osteoporosis the longer you use it.
Oh, wow. That's scary, man.
Is that because you're eating less and that affects your nutrition?
I would doubt
I don't know. I'm just curious. Wonder what the correlation is between.
Well,
I mean, if they say it's a link to it, they probably don't know why.
Well, a common side effect is like nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and potential pancreatitis. So, I mean, you're not keeping your food down. You definitely, not going to have the vitamins and minerals your body needs to function properly, and your hormones get all messed up and everything too.
So y'all are both right. So
a strong positive. Go ahead.
Yeah, so y'all are both right. Apparently, because of the rapid weight loss, you can underfeed your body. There may be caloric deficiencies because of the rapid weight loss, and you're not actually giving your body what it needs to get. So there may be a rapid loss of muscle mass, which is linked to loss of bone density as well too. And then any GLP-1 drug, which is the class of drug that Ozempic is, can have a major role in unregulated hormone production, which increases your risk of osteoporosis. So, and there's a lot of other reasons why, like loss of muscle mass, caloric restriction, and nutrition deficiencies impact on bone turnover and rapid weight loss. Yeah. So
affects intake.
I'm cool with
calcium, vitamin D.
Is they exercise, incorporating weight bearing, resistance exercise to strengthen your bones and muscles, dietary support, making sure you're taking enough calcium and vitamin D, monitoring and medical guidance is a way to reduce those risks and intervene if necessary. So
I mean, if you're doing all that, you would lose weight naturally, kind of.
Like
how much of that is the Ozempic then, and how much is the exercise?
I think the level of exercise is different.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain, like for instance, there's certain things where it's like, well, you're taking this medication, you should also do these things, and it's like, well, if I'm doing those things kind of lead to the result that I wanted from the medication. So it's like,
well, look at diabetes, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't be eating a bunch of sugars, don't be eating a lot of starches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
but on hypertension meds, they're like, exactly. You're on hypertension meds, they're like, yeah, like also like don't drink a lot of salt, don't eat a lot of salt, and watch your caffeine intake. Is like, well, that both of those would also help with my high blood pressure. So, or even like the hair, again, I think we mentioned that before. How much of the like Rogaine and stuff, because you're also supposed to comb your hair that you don't have yet when you're on those. It's like, well, how much of that is also just follicle stimulation because of this action thing? So, like, I'm sure there's studies. This has to be part of the drug itself. Like, results without people doing these things and results with people doing these things, and the results with them are much stronger. But for the control or whatever, what's it called when they give you non-actual drug? You have like
placebo.
Placebo effect,
and it works.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mind over matter.
Hey, man, the mind is impressive. The mind is incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about the stigma behind like people taking a Wegovy or Ozempic?
And it seems like a shortcut.
Yeah, I don't think what was it? I don't see it any different than people taking hydroxycut. I don't know if you remember hydroxycut.
Yeah, I haven't heard that in a long time.
Yeah, that's like 25 years ago. Hydroxycut was something that you can buy over the counter, which was a fat burner. And it was just like a lot of caffeine, and people were just buying it to lose weight. And I think the reason why it worked was, at least for me, I drink a lot of, if I drink a lot of caffeine, I have no appetite. So I'm just not going
Yeah.
to eat. So I think that's all it was. It was just killing your appetite. You're not eating, and then you're all fucking hyped, and you just have no choice but to work out, because if not, you're just going to sit there anxious as hell.
Have you heard of Thermavec? Have you heard of Thermavec?
Well, that's
You're a gym guy.
Thermal what?
Thermavec's Thermavex. It's a pre-workout that I used to use. It's just a shit ton of caffeine.
Oh, yeah.
oh no.
Dude, it works. It works.
Yeah, I should start taking a
pre-workout
pre-workout
crazy
again.
weight because I would sweat like a monster.
My problem is that I can't sleep at night once I take caffeine. I'm the worst. I wake up
I miss
every
Thermavec.
night. I wake up probably 3-4 times in the middle of the night. Like last night, I woke up. I went to sleep around 11, and I woke up probably about 5 times last night. Like,
Caffeine. I just wake up and suffer.
yeah. I have the worst
And the
sleep
pain
pattern,
is
man.
my coffee.
Yeah, I know. I love it though, man. I feel like I can't think straight without it. Like once I have
Right.
my
I love
coffee,
that.
it's such a good hit because like my imagination kicks in. Everything just seems so interesting. I'm like, ooh, this is great. My imagination starts stirring. I have all these ideas and all these things I want to do. And then at the end of the night, I'm like, I can't do anything.
Oh man, I
can't
like that
fucking
zombie feeling of like I woke up, but am I really? I mean, if you told me that's what like weed is like, I would get I would understand the appeal. That's what I have in the morning when I wake up.
Weed's amazing.
I'm just like, just is see exactly. So I'm just like, yeah.
I don't smoke, but I used to.
I assume all of the drugs have to have some amazing to them. 'Cause
Amazing properties.
ain't no way I would like fumble the rest of my life over something.
I think
Like-
Adderall is amazing. I love Adderall.
Hey,
But I had to stop taking it.
whatever it is, it has to be better than sex.
Yeah.
Like, if you told me cocaine is better than sex, I'm like, it must be the way these folks act about it. It's not.
I don't think there's anything as good as that.
It's good, but it's not.
Sex is amazing. Oh my god,
Yeah,
Anyone who
for real.
says that has whack sex.
they're not doing sex right.
For real.
Again, the richest man in the world,
Yeah.
was like, I mean, that's how good sex is. Sex is worth half. How much was it? How much did he lose in this?
Several B's.
38 billion. $38.3 billion.
That's how much he had to give her?
Yes,
Oh my
that's how much
God.
she got.
Bro, I'm looking at the richest people in the world, and there's this woman at the bottom. Like, okay, well, first of all, that's awesome. I didn't know women like were billionaires and stuff like that. I was like, you know, and I'm like, who is this lady? I look her up. Author, philanthropist. Fuck out of here. Yeah, bro. She skated away with a good chunk of change.
If you look at the richest women in the world,
I never thought of Googling that. Now I'm gonna cyberstalk all of
Yep.
all these billionaires. Yo, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
Jacqueline Mars, number 6. That's her, right?
you a sugar mama?
Or
Mackenzie Scott.
Mackenzie Scott. Okay.
She's
Number
falling
9.
to number now.
Oh, she's falling to number 9.
So as of
How you
April
spending
2023, there were 3,337 women billionaires in the world.
Alice Walton's alive still? God damn. Dang. Who is, I was like, who the hell is Julia Koch? Got it. I'm pronouncing the name wrong.
Yeah, but I'm seeing all their ages. They're all in their 60s and 70s. All right, we got one that's 54, Mackenzie Scott.
They're also married to the billionaire.
That's her.
Oh,
Yeah, that's her.
Scott?
It's Mackenzie Scott. She's probably the only single one on this list.
Facts. Well, Francois Betancourt.
Who that?
L'Oreal.
Yo. 78 beats? No, she's married. Jean-Pierre Myers. 2 children.
Oh, never mind.
Look up Gina Reinhart.
Reinhardt. Australian businesswoman born in 50. What does she do? Hancock prospecting? Okay.
It does.
what's your
I
hot take?
just realized, like, to become a sugar mama.
No, I'm gonna marry a rich
That's what I
white dude.
found.
Listen, I'm sure my wife would be mad, and then I'm sure she won't be after a little bit. You're okay. It's fine.
Exactly.
You didn't. I'm like, no, not after the first couple months.
Right. It's
What's your hot take?
2025.
What's your take?
My hot take.
Yeah,
I
give me your
think-
take.
I think you just said the hot take. You finding your male billionaire.
Oh, that was it. You said get a sugar mama that you take?
Oh yeah, that definitely. If you can do
Apparently,
it.
sugar daddy.
If you can do it without swindling them, do it. But if you're
No,
swindling them,
that's
don't be an asshole. Like I can't stand those type of guys. I can't stand those type of people because women do it too. So yeah, just don't be an asshole. You know, let them know up front. Look, I'm marrying you for the money. That's it. Let's make it work.
We gonna have a great time.
how is that different from an AI relationship?
How is that different from an AI relationship?
Oh, as far as morality,
Gonna say you gonna do whatever they want.
When you put it on its womb.
you ain't gonna argue. Yeah, girl put up more argument than the sugar mama.
For real.
Did y'all not hear what I said?
How did you mention it?
What'd you say?
When you put it in, it's warm. Well,
Do
actually,
I need
the AI robots
to show
would
you
be
the
warm
YouTube
though.
link again,
If you
bro?
think about it, because their CPU would keep them warm.
I was about to say, do I need to show you the video again, bro?
Yeah, for real.
Brent,
All
what's your
right,
hot
Brent,
take?
sign us out, man.
Oh, we're not doing Brent's take?
Brent got one.
What would my hot?
What do you mean? Brent has 1,000 takes.
All right. Oh, I guess this is a new segment. Hot takes.
What's your take?
Ew, start me off, kick me off. What do you want to hear? I am against the shortcuts because most of them require a lifestyle change that I don't think the people who do the shortcut have. So, like, for instance, like the folks that win the lottery usually lose their money because they ain't got no kind of financial, wherewithal. The folks that get the lap band surgery, some of them wind up like being heavy again because they never lost the big back appetite. They just medically couldn't eat as much, but eventually they worked their way back up to it.
I've seen it
And
happen.
then,
That's an exception, not a rule. But go ahead.
yeah, exactly. But to that point, that's what it requires. Like a lot of these shortcuts for them to stick, just like the New Year's. Everybody got a New Year's resolution, and then you got to have the lifestyle change. I like to ask people in August, like, "Hey, how's that resolution going?"
So
Which one?
So stop day trading and start grinding.
I'm trying.
But I'm addicted.
He said on the podcast, trying to get a new source of income.
I guess my response to the hot take is that, nah, man, like, if most of what technology is a shortcut. You know what I'm saying? It's a shortcut. I could go over to Brent's house, but I'm not. Well, I did that today.
You literally just left here.
I literally just left. But I could go to, wherever Electrik is from and talk to him there. But no, I'm going to use a shortcut. I'm going to call him on the phone. I'm going to play a game. I'm going to do a thing, And so I think we got to normalize embracement of technology because, like we just said, people are like, ugh, look at this person doing a AI relationship. But the same people might not, say, listen, if they're two consenting adults, there's nothing with this sugar mama or sugar daddy relationship. And it's like, man.
And also, if you know for a fact you don't want kids, you know what I'm saying? And like, you don't need any of those things that also come with a relationship. Like, yeah, if it gives you what you need out of it, then I think that's fine. Like, as long as you're like mentally fine with it, because clearly you won't have to have no annoying in-laws. You don't have to like, go to any event that you don't want to go to. You ain't got to like have the friends of your person who like would be whack.
Softball.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's all you need is companionship and you don't want any of the extra BS, like, yo, that works. Hey, you ain't even got to take it out in the cold and then pick up its poop. That is your homie. Now, when you don't want to talk to him, turn it off guilt-free.
It's official. He's spoken.
Word.
Everybody, it's okay to have AI girlfriends, babies, blowjob dolls, AI dogs. It's actually more preferable than sugar babies and sugar daddies from a relationship standpoint, not a financial standpoint.
The only one I
good for the
disagree with are the AI babies. I don't agree with the AI babies. I do agree with the AI partners, but
What's
the
the difference?
AI babies.
What's
The difference is that I see a baby as something that grows, right? You nurture and it grows. And you're trying to raise it to be the best human being that they can possibly be. But with an AI baby, they're stunted. So say, for instance, you have this AI baby that you purchased that is 6 months old. It's going to stay 6 months old for 5 years. That becomes a nuisance. Does the AI baby poop and pee itself all the time? Like, does it have those
Does
functions?
the AI robot or girlfriend do that?
Not mine.
Don't they stay locked in don't they stay locked into the same, like, everybody grows.
Yeah, but
Yes, babies grow at a bigger rate.
The deal is with this is when you get an AI partner, they're already a grown up, right? That's it. But when you for the people that want it, at least this is how I'm picturing it. For anybody that wants it, right? They're like, oh, I want parenthood. I'm gonna get an AI robot baby so I can experience parenthood. I can picture parents 2 years into it like, fuck this shit. I'm sick of this shit. Fucking, I'm putting this shit on eBay.
We're all them Tamagotchis right now.
Yep.
We're all them Tamagotchis right now.
Right now. I tell you what, we got our little one a Tamagotchi for Christmas. She played with it for an hour and was done because she couldn't figure out how to change it. Never picked it up again.
Learned.
Yep.
There's your
It's a 7-year-old.
There's your birth control. Give people AI babies. We're like, you know what?
8-year-old couldn't keep up with it.
But then the AI baby starts learning because it's AI, and they're like, "Mommy, what are you doing?" It's like, "You supposed to change me at this time." It's like, why can't you talk?
Yeah. No, but even if like if it has the real schedule where it's like, remember when you first have a kid and every 3 hours you got to wake up and like change them, feed them, play with them, little tummy time when you get to that age, and then like
Here's my prediction.
Oh, this is a take.
I got this. The AI robot babies, they're going to turn into VR gaming headsets where a lot of people get the VR. Hold on, let me cook. A lot of people get the VR gaming headsets. A lot of people continue to play it. But there are a lot more people that get it, and after 2-3 months, they never play it again. It's just sitting in a box in a corner.
Okay. I thought you meant the babies will turn into VR headsets. So when you're done with them, now you got the VR headset. I was like, wait. Okay.
I thought he was going to take it even further where it's like, and your baby grows up and now somebody is dating your AI baby is their AI girlfriend. Like, did they decide to have AI children together?
Or you got the, what is that director? Woody, what's his name?
Woody Allen?
Yeah, Woody Allen. Woody Allen, their own little AI robot babies.
Dear. Oh dear. You would just take it to the store. You take the cartridge out and then you would put it in like an adolescent. And then you take it out and you would put it in like a teenager. And then you take it out and then you put it in an adult. And then you can marry off that adult to somebody.
So you have grandchildren out there.
It's going to cost you $12,000 to exchange the card to another body.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah. Take out its consciousness and move it to the next body. Okay. You got something going now. There it is. I think that is ultimately what all of our technology is headed towards, for us to do that to ourselves. I think that is the end game. And put these on a rental schedule, or you got to...
No, like our consciousness out of, and then we'll swap it out.
I don't think it would really be us, though, if you did that.
Oh, no. Okay. I can talk about this.
It'll have our data.
Too long. I could talk about this for entirely too long. So let's not even broach this topic.
Let's bring this up on the next show. All right.
Because I want to hear what happens, the price of all of this when your AI baby becomes influencer and like famous.
That's my baby.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Because there's already AI like IG accounts. There's gonna be famous AI influence.
Yeah, that's true.
What happens when your baby becomes a famous AI influence?
That's true. True stuff.
All their money goes to a Bitcoin crypto wallet you set up at their birth.
Yeah.
You raised it. You should benefit.
Yeah, but then they try to AI emancipate themselves from you.
Oh, man, you ain't got my keys. My blockchain. Get out of here. That's why I said blockchain.
Okay. All right. So this has been Habitual Line Steppers, the podcast that never was. Late to the party. Name pending. One of those. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed our discussion on shortcuts. No pain, no gain. But hey, sometimes take a pill, man. I'm the Rebel Alliance. It's Juju for the Wola and Electric Thunder.
Yeah. I'm about to play the bird watch.
Bob, do something!
Later.
Awesome.
Cheta bodo akpo onku ikba inelu magacho